On this episode of Pennies Going in Raw, me and Hugh discuss how not to become a bagholder, this week's SPAQ Attack, Hugh's DD, and some rapid fire. Let's go.
Hey, yo, check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav in the building for the Atlas crew.
Atlas Trading, what the fuck is up?
There are traders, there are prodigies, and then there's legends.
We're up 4%, baby.
No way.
4%
Buy the fucking dip.
Hey, who told me about IDEX?
Like, dude, what the fuck? Like, someone just made, like, a lot more money than me on my trade.
You find out life's this game of pennies.
Did you check the portfolio?
Pennies. The margin for error is so small.
I bet Warren Buffett never did that.
And they out there making money right now off of penny stocks.
Them two guys is putting in work to make y'all rich.
The pennies we need are everywhere around us.
Time to think big.
Pennies Going in Raw.
Featuring Dan, Deity at Dips,
and Hugh Honey. Produced by Vinny Strokes, baby.
Welcome to the Penny Stock Podcast presented by the Blazing Chronicle. Today is Sunday, August the 30th, and this dreadful month is about to be over.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's been very shitty. Well, not very shitty, but I have seen, like we talked about last week, just so many people blow up their accounts on just bad phase 3 data on things like ONTX and OTLK. But overall, it's just been a red month for small caps.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't even make any money this month. Probably barely paid the bills.
Yeah, I know you were talking earlier about options being your bread and butter this month. Do you usually do that whenever it's slow?
Yeah. So we might as well talk about this now. I like options when things are slow, but the reason that I don't love playing them all the time is because the risk to reward changes. With options, I feel like the risk to reward is more 60% reward, 40% risk, and I don't like to alert that. Also, because of how volatile options are, the price constantly changes. So like Friday, I found what's called a gamma gap, and at one point I was up X amount of dollars, say 200%, and then within 30 seconds before I could even sell, I had lost 2/3 of that profit. So if I alert to 47,000 people and 1,000 people take that option, all it's going to do is, it's going to make I'm going to make a ton of money. I'm going to make so much money, but, someone's going to be buying at an inflated risk, which I don't want to happen. If Apple's trading, yeah, you know what I mean? That's just a pumper. We ain't pumpers. So I don't want someone buying an option for Apple, not knowing what's happening. And if 1,000 people buy the $100 strike price for August 30th expiration, then all that's going to do is change the option price to be super inflated, and someone's going to be buying an options price for the underlying value to be really 110 instead of 100. So that's why I don't do that, because the underlying value, the volatility, and because the risk to reward is so different. When we're in penny stocks, like we said, we're going for 100% gains every time. In options, that's just not how it works.
Okay, yeah. So mainly when things slow down, like you said, you get into options. But what if both the market is kind of shitty as well, like for large caps? Or are you buying puts in that situation, or are you just sitting out and playing mainly cash?
No, I'm completely sitting out. There's no point. Unless I can get a good risk to reward, or I have a really good strategy, which options I have like a pretty solid strategy. I don't try and do a million different option strategies. I just like to stick to my strategy, and that's it. So I'm confident in that, but I'm not forcing anything. And that's why we talk a lot about living underneath our means. If I make $10 million, I'm not spending $10 million. The government will take 3.7, and then donations and whatnot. So that's why I always like to have a cash reserve, so that if I have a down month, or hell, even if I have a down year, I still pay myself from that cash reserve. And I think that that's really important. So I never, ever, ever, ever feel like I need to make money. Obviously, I want to make money, and it sucks when I don't make money, but it's so good to have a cash reserve because I can still pay myself into my bank accounts from that cash reserve like I'm making money. So I think that that's really important.
Yeah, just knowing when to sit out and knowing if you don't have to make money, it's better to just save your money and make sure your risk to reward's always on point. But one big thing that happened this week that I know a lot of our followers are probably pretty happy about is the SPAQ Attack, SPAQ. It was flirting with 11 and at that 12 line for a while, but it actually went past 14 on Tuesday and after hours, I believe. But it ended up closing the week around 13, but still up pretty good. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I really think that. See, the thing is that with these kind of plays is that you love when they start to move, but one of the biggest issues when all of FinTwit is in one play is that it's like paint drying, and then it's like
and then David Portnoy joins the party, and that now everyone's holding.
Yeah, now everyone's holding. So it's like, and then it's like when times are good, times are really good. And then it's like any kind of dip turns into a huge, massive dip because, you have retail investors that don't necessarily know what they're doing. So, a small dip turns into like a freaking knife. And I'm like, dude, what is this? So that's the only thing about, that's actually a huge reason why one of the things on the Matrix is how many people are on this, because I don't want all FinTwit in my plays. I just don't want that. It's inexperience. It's there's just too much downside.
Cans.
Yeah. I mean, there's just too much downside. So that's one of the things on the Matrix is making sure that there's not a bunch of FinTwit on it, because when something flies like SPAC, it's like like the freaking heavens are open. But then SPAC at 11 or SPAC at 12, and it's burning bridges and shit.
Yeah, dude. What do you think would happen if Dave Portnoy tweeted out tomorrow, "SPAC sucks, I'm all out"? What do you think?
I would be scared for his life. I'd be scared for his life.
For his life?
Yeah, for his life. Because the people that got in when he said to get in were already watching it, because all of FinTwit is in it. So, I really can't remember the last time. Maybe, what was it, MTSL, the Microsoft one?
Yeah.
Was that it?
No, MVIS had it. That was another UAVS sympathy play.
Yeah. So it's like stuff like that, So it's like everyone was watching it, and then when he got in, it was like, oh, okay, now everybody's really in on it. So I'd probably be scared for his life.
Yeah, he'd bring it on too. He'd be like, yeah, what the hell is the Fisker militia gonna do to me? So, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully he's happy with the results, because that means I'd be happy with the results. But that's it for this week in the market. Our main thing this week, though, is how not to become a bag holder. A lot of people over the course of the past month have obviously had the issue of becoming bag holders. Swings are dipping, people add that dip, and then it dips more. One of my references that I think would kind of hit home with a lot of people, because it's pretty popular, and a lot of people were talking about a month ago. SXTC was around 50 cents, and now it's flirting with around a 30-cent support. It's just been on a very solid downtrend, and it's probably only had about 4 green days in the past 20 trading days. I think that's one of the biggest issues that people are having, is that they just keep adding and it just keeps dropping.
Yeah, and bag holding does so. I can't even. I can't. Where do we even begin, Dan?
I think where to begin. I know it's probably a rhetorical question, but I think what it does to your psychology and mentality of trading.
Yeah, I really feel like we're a mentality podcast for the most part, and that is because I do think that literally 60%, I would even go to say 70% of trading is mentality and keeping your psychology in check, because it's like relationships. You could have
here we go.
It could be the perfect girl, or definitely the perfect girl. She could be perfect. She could want your little Hughs. She could be loyal. She could be sexy. And it could just be the wrong time in your life. You could be trying to make it in your career. You could be making a move. And so the same thing with stocks is that something can be, undervalued. But you could be early or late, So like EVFM, I talked to the Morgan Stanley analyst, and he thinks that EVFM won't get to 20 until January, and 12 till January. He has a price target of 12, and so he thinks that I'm
only 300% in 4 months.
Yeah. So he thinks that I'm early on it. So timing's a lot, and when you're bag holding, what it does to your psychology is huge, because all you're seeing is that the money that you had in there. So when you see that you put 100,000 in it and now you only have 60,000, you're just sitting there watching it. And one thing that we talk about a lot is how much this game affects your psychology. So if you're not making any money and you're down, if you're not making any money, you're going to be pissed. And then on top of that, if you're down 40, 50% and it's not going anywhere, that's just as bad as losing money, because you feel like you're not making any of it back. So it hurts. It freaking hurts. And you're just staring at it.
It's also because, you got to think, it's what is your money doing for you and what could it be doing for you?
Yeah.
I remember people like BSS was on WTRH, and like as far back as I can remember, even like November, December, and I was in at 50 cents and I was out at 45, and I jumped back in thankfully before it popped up, and I got in at like 35 cents, and it had that huge move. So my money was clearly in better places instead of letting it drop that extra 20%. And you can always get back in the stock. And if it does go back up a couple cents, don't let that bug you either.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do.
No, exactly. So it's the psychology of seeing that down, and then also it's the opportunity cost. Yes, you're down 40%, but think about if you took that 60% and you put it into one play and you could be back, or 2 or 3 plays you could be back. You don't know when that stock's going to get back to your average or above.
I think the whole bag holding mentality comes from, should I take it out of this stock when it's already down 30%, let's say, and put it into something else, or shit, that one could drop 30% and this one's already dropped the 30%, Yeah. So using this logic, this one would probably go up because, you've seen it. You saw it at 50 cents, so that's what it could be. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and that should totally tie into your strategy about how you're going to handle bag holding and losses, and how you're just going to handle all that, because you do play every stock differently, but you need to have parameters where, okay, if it gets to this level, I'm going to cut some, or if this comes out, if an offering comes out, I'm done with that stock. And so I think that's really important that you have to create a holistic strategy, and bag holding just completely destroys your mentality, your strategy, everything that we as traders strive for. It destroys all of that. You're not trading if you're bag holding. You're not trading. So now you're not making any money. And, the wife's asking for a Prada bag, and you're like, dude, what the fook? Like, I'm not.
The only bags I have are fucking SXTC, sweetheart.
Yeah, exactly. So I see a lot of people like, oh, no, I don't want to take a loss. Okay, well, one, you're probably going to be a bitch. You're probably a grump person, I know that when I used to bag hold, I was a freaking jerk to everybody around me, because I was seeing how much I was down. I wasn't seeing the stock moving. I would just be like, do something. In
the situation where you're saying shit like that, but you say your risk reward of 80-20 and shit like that, how do you not be a bag holder? Like with OTLK, obviously you scaled out for less than the 100%, but you still got a good bit. But in other stocks, if EVFM took a dip to 250, would that, how would you consider that not you being a bag holder?
Yeah,
if it did that.
That's a really good question. And so I don't think that something, knock on wood, watch EVFM will go to 250. But I don't think that something can dip over 30%, and that's what I consider bag holding. I don't think something can dip 30% without there being a negative catalyst, whether it be a failed FDA, whether it be, a failed FDA approval, whether it be an offering. So that's That's kind of what I think. And then, like I said, is that we talk about it a lot on our swings, is that if something has a negative catalyst, if news comes out about a negative catalyst, then I get out. So, we talk, and that's huge about bag holding, is that if you're wrong on a stock, and it's not even that you're wrong. It can just be timing. If an offering comes out and the thing tanks, why hold it? Why?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not an offering, I mean, the way you're kind of explaining is that you've never been in a stock that just has bled over time. Like even with SSTC, I think the only like semi bad news was like an earnings report. Whenever it was 44 cents, it dropped it down to 40, started to recover. Then whenever all the low caps started getting fucked, now you see it where it is with some pretty big sells every now and then. But it's like you've never been in a stock that just bleeds out all of the, like for a decent amount of time.
No, it definitely
even if it was like
bleeds.
SPAC, whenever people were buying that 14, 15, and that dropped a good bit, and I thought. A lot of people were saying, bag holding SPAC now whenever it was $11, $12.
Well, see, okay, and this is, now we're splitting here.
It may just be a different definition of bag holding.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, is that we're kind of splitting hairs because the way that I look at bag holding and, like, that's kind of the way that, like, this is, like, okay, I'll read you exactly what Investopia says. Bag of stock that has become worthless over time. So that's what bag holding is, or that's what Investopia considers bag holding. So, and I
Gotcha. You're not even waiting for anything.
No, you're not even waiting for something. And my entire strategy is based on a catalyst, whether it be a catalyst run up or whether it be a product drop, something like that. So most of the time, at the very minimum, unless a negative catalyst comes out, I'm usually at least breaking even, and that's just because it's not worthless. These FDA approvals on the hype alone gives it at least 10-20%. So that, when I do think bag holding, I think of like what was it, ONTX, their flags, or like SAVA. SAVA had one drug and it was a flagship and they failed it miserably. Or another one is FWP. FWP has zero revenues. So when I think of a bag holder, I think of a stock that has zero revenues, is absolutely worthless, and that's what I think of bag holding. So you're just hoping that they get bought out or something. That's how I think of it.
So I think another thing that we can talk about in bag holding would be averaging down, because obviously that creates bigger bag holders. But at the same time, whenever you are bag holding something that's down so much, you also think of it as an opportunity or a good dip. So where do you find yourself in the average down situation?
Yeah, so, and that's a really good question. And that's why I always say that you guys need to learn charting, because that's part of the thing where, is this a dip or is this a retest of support? And if you guys don't understand how to chart, then you're not going to know when it hits support. You're just going to be thinking like, oh, is this a good time to average down? Well, if you know how to chart, then okay, this is a good area to add. Or for instance, I'll give you a perfect example, okay? Yesterday, I was playing Tesla options, and it came out of the gate and it dipped. And when it dipped, I was about to cut. But then I adjusted my charts for the new day and the new chart, et cetera, and it came to support and started to crawl in support. Now, if I hadn't adjusted my charts and I had used the old charts from the previous days and I hadn't adjusted them, then I would have been stopped out. But by adjusting my charts to the new updated chart, I saw that it hadn't actually broken support and it had come right down to support, and I actually added on support. So I had a lower average and more contracts, and I ended up selling. It ended up being a good trade. So instead of taking like a 5-figure loss, it was a 5-figure gain. And so that's why I say is that the same thing with penny stocks is that if you identify charting, then you can kind of get a better idea of, okay, what's it going to do at that $5 mark? Is it going to break through and knife or walk a death line, or is it going to come along support? And that would be the perfect time to add right there, because things trade in ranges. So when UAVS was trading in like a 20-cent range for like a year, and then when it finally broke out of there, it blasted straight like 50%. So if you can understand the ranges, and I know a lot of guys like Haggy, I think does it, or maybe it's Vinny. It's either Haggy or Vinny in Atlas. What they do is that they have a swing account and then they have a day trading account. And all they do inside the day trading account is just add on support, sell and resistance, add on support, sell and resistance. And that's they make a little money on the side doing that. So I think that it's really important to understand charting because then you understand dip. And then kind of like what we were saying about bag holding is that I consider bag holding something worthless. My entire strategy, like we talked about, is based on catalyst trading. So when I consider a dip, I want a dip. Almost any time that I get into a stock, I want a dip because I know what I'm holding and I know what I'm owning. So I like dips.
Okay. On the other side of things, instead of averaging down, what about scaling back your swings and trimming? When can you justify that? And without an answer of just if you're worried, sell half, or is that the only answer?
Yeah. If you're worried, then you have way too much size. I mean, we all sometimes get a little skittish, but if you're constantly like worrying about every cent and every tick, then you have way too much size. That's how I think about it.
So, and another thing with the bag holding, with the catalyst and everything, like CEMI was just $5.40 a couple days ago, like last week. It's dropped all the way down to $3.60, and I think that was more of a sell the news. But the Thursday or Wednesday sell off was very, it was aggressive, and that was a time where I was like, well, should I trim? And there were so many supports that it broke where I was just like, well, shit. And, I found myself with a good bit, but I was able to play it off of the bottom whenever I noticed it bottom. And I think that's what you can do to find yourself trimming out, is try and make some profits when you see it's at the support, flip a little bit, and then just try and get what you can if you need to get out of some. I know it sounds weird adding some to get out of some. No, you're right. But sometimes you gotta be a little unorthodox.
Right. And that's where it comes down to we haven't talked about it in a while, but the whole breaking gas analogy of you need to constantly you're not like, okay, I'm gonna buy it here and sell it here. That's not a strat. I mean, that is a strategy, but you need to always be like, okay, if it dips 10%, I'm gonna buy there and then sell some when it's up 5%. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get my average lower and then sell it all. So it's got to be a constant change of motion and a constant, just like when you drive a car, constant brake, gas, a little bit of gas, a little bit of brake, maybe a hard brake. CEMI is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a hard brake.
Yeah, it bricked all right.
So that's why I think it's important. That comes with experience. That's why you just can't follow. That's why you just can't follow me or Zach or PJ because I'm not alerting to you.
Yeah, you got to follow me. You got to follow the idiot.
Yeah, dear God, please follow Dan for your food needs. So, but seriously, and that's why I think like PJ and Zach created Atlas so that you could create a molding.
So dumbasses like me could make money.
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is that you took what they do and buy, sell, short, same thing. That you took what they did and you created your own strategy off it. It makes no fucking sense to me, and I don't know how you make a goddamn dollar because it doesn't make any fucking sense. But that's the beauty of it is that it works.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
that means a lot.
I mean, I'm serious, and so.
Well, dude, I tried your way. It was obnoxiously boring, and no matter how much like things I could do during the day, I was like, "What the fuck?" I cannot wait to come spend time with you to see how you trade.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You gotta have a nutsack to do what I do, but I mean, your strategy's good too.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it in work as I'm on the couch, like hungover.
Yeah, but so getting back to what we were saying was that the whole point of why we created Atlas, or why PJ created it, not me, but why PJ and Zach created Atlas was so that people could kind of follow PJ and Zach's strategy and everyone else, and along the way create their own strategy because trading is an art. trading is so important, and having your own strategy that isn't just black and white, because there's so much gray in trading, is so important. And so I think that's if there's one thing that we can stress, it's to keep your psychology in check, learn a strategy that you like, and understand that the market doesn't make sense. And that's why bag holding is the worst possible thing that you can do for your psychology, for your strategy, for your mentality, all of it.
So one of the main things that you kind of hit on like this whole time was you can't be found bag holding as long as you get out of shit if it has bad news and if you're not holding a worthless stock. And we preach no stop losses with that. So whenever you do find yourself in one of these situations where you're questioning whether or not it's, gonna be worth it, are you like, is the catalyst too far out and I think I'm bag holding now? Or I don't even know what the fuck I'm asking.
I think you're making a statement, because you are. You are. You're saying that there's no real one answer, right? Isn't that what you're saying? Like,
yeah,
I think that's what you're saying.
I don't even know if like I'm talking to people and we're cutting this part out.
No, but I think I know what you're saying. Is that there's no black white answer in trading and with bag holding. Is that you got to create your own strategy. Like to me, if UAVS dipped 20% or WTRH, perfect example.
Like I was just saying, like whenever I had it at 50 cents and then it dropped down to 30, and that's, got back in, and thank gosh, because that's when it rocketed.
Yeah, exactly. So like Bob and I had first gotten into WTRH at 32 cents. It dropped all the way down to like 25 cents. That's like a 20% loss. We were down like 20% at one time. And so people were like, oh man, now I'm bag holding WTRH. Dude, I was buying the fuck out of it. I was ready to like put my parents' house up for margin, for collateral. And on the chart, when it went to, it's at like $5 now. Now that 10 cents doesn't look like anything. But back then, people were like, oh, now I'm bag holding.
Yeah, would you have done the same if you weren't as confident that the catalyst was as soon? And did you expect the catalyst to be as soon as it was?
Yeah. So Bob and I are pretty genius. I don't want to pat.
Right, very smart guys.
Yeah.
With your years of experience, right?
So Bob and I felt like at the very minimum, based on what Tillman, the Rockets owner, had done, that it was undervalued where it was. So even if it dropped some more, we still felt like it was undervalued at that point. So we felt like it was a dip, even if there was a 30%. Even though we were down 20%, if it dipped another 30%, because that's pennies. Now that it's at $5, 10 cents is like 2%. So when it was at 30 cents though, that 10 cents was like 20% loss. So
it seemed like a lot.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot. But now you look back at the chart and you're like, what's that little
if it
thing
drops
there?
10 cents in an hour.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's really important, is that's when you got to understand yourself. Can you handle it? Like if you can't handle the stress, then don't do it. Can you handle the heat? Do you have a big enough of a sack? And if you don't, there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's when you have to do, all right, am I going to trust my DD, or is this too much for me to handle? And that's when you got to trust that's when you got to know yourself, your gut, your instinct.
Yeah, I think so many of these like trading idioms come back to everyone with the whole bag holding thing. Know what you own.
Yeah.
And then maybe, like we said, it's a mentality thing. If you don't think you're bag holding, maybe you're not fucking bag holding because you know what you own. Like he wasn't bag holding WTRH, even though a lot of people might have said he did.
Yeah. And also understand that we trade shit companies, but if I know that they have,
the people that believe a lot of these things on Twitter, like even though the UAVS to Amazon shit, it's literally like the people that the Wolf of Wall Street are pitching to, where they're like, I know this company, it's in their parents' garage, but they're doing all this water aerodynamic shit. But that's exactly what a lot of the Twitter guys are doing. Not a lot, but that's how how it seems that some of them are doing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's super important, is that understand that we trade. If you guys, another plug for China Hustle, if you guys haven't watched it, watch China Hustle. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Dude, you getting paid by China Hustle?
Yo, shh, keep on the deal. Okay. Yo, seriously though, China Hustle, hit me up.
Yeah, on Hulu. They also have live sports.
And plug for Hulu too. But seriously, watch China Hustle. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, I know that freaking DVax isn't going to cure cancer, but if they have a phase 3, I know that I can use that to my advantage. So I'm not holding it as an investment, but I know that there's upside there for me to be in and out in 2 weeks and make 20%. All right? I don't need it to be the next Amazon. I just need to make me some freaking money. So if it's undervalued, boom, I'm in there, baby. I'm in there like Sarkan, baby.
EVFM is going to end teenage pregnancy. Throwback to episode 1. Okay, does that sum up bagholding?
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, so now to wrap up this week's episode, we've got Q&A, Hugh's DD, and some rapid fire quickies. You ready?
Yeah, I like a quickie.
The hell?
Did you say
what do
quickie?
My mom listens. Yeah, my mom listens to this.
Hi, Mom.
No, she doesn't. She actually stopped listening, like on episode 2. Whatever.
Why? Because we're the only top 50 podcast that's explicit in business.
And yeah, I think she wanted to listen to Dave Ramsey. I let her listen. I just don't let her subscribe or download. I make her listen to it on.
Did she say anything about me?
Who? My mom?
Yeah. Did she what were her comments about me?
She actually didn't. She actually didn't even notice I was with another person. She thought I was talking to myself.
Oh, damn. All right. Noted.
She's like that voice to speech thing that you're talking to is very realistic, and my mom did say you were smart.
Wait, what?
And
she called me smart?
She said your friend is smart. I didn't know what he was saying, so I assumed it was smart. She's a pharmacist, not a trader. Right. Okay.
I love you, Miss Dippity.
Aw. Whoa, dude, stop. Okay, Q&A. Now that bit's over. What are your hours? Stop, dude. What are your... I love you, Mom. What are your hours of active trading versus DD and research? My DD and research, it occupies my whole day. If by DD and research, I mean getting drunk on the couch. I active trade a shit ton, though. I think Hugh's maybe a little different.
Yeah, I spend my life at my desk in like an embarrassing way, especially now that the new apartment has weights and a kitchen like around the corner. I don't leave my office. It's embarrassing. But that being said, I basically trade the open, I trade the close, and then from the entire rest of the time I'm doing research. Like I can't even stress to you. During probably from like 10:30 to probably 1, besides my nap time, of course. I'm doing research. Yeah, dude, come on. It's the secret to life. I'm doing research. And then from really, unless I'm doing something fun with Dan, from probably...
Yeah, like just talking on the phone for an hour about nothing. Trying to plan the podcast and just talking about like the effects of the Industrial Revolution.
God, we're such nerds. So I do research. I probably am at my desk, let me see, probably easily 13 hours a day. And
the only real active trading you really do is like options, isn't it?
Yeah, and when the market's hot, I don't even do options. So I think that's really important. Is that I hate those ads. They're like, I made $1,000 in an hour.
I cut you off whenever you said you 18 hours at the desk. How many are trading? How many are research?
8. I don't do 18. Maybe like 13 hours at the desk.
Okay.
Maybe 13 hours at the desk. I probably on like literally maybe 20 minutes of trading. Maybe.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, because I'm just adding, unless I'm adding to a swing, I'm adding on support, maybe selling on resistance, unless I'm doing options.
You usually just have alerts for that.
Yeah, exactly. I just have alerts. So like it takes maybe 2 minutes. I don't even usually keep TD up, to be honest. I keep like one window of TD up. And then the rest of the time I'm just doing research and stuff because I make my money by going balls deep into stuff and waiting for the catalyst. But like even when the catalyst comes, like maybe it takes me 2 hours to unload a position. and then I'm done.
Has there ever been a stock that you did all this DD and shit for, and you were in it, and you're happy? Like, let's say you were doing some research on EVFM. Is there anything that you could potentially find where you're like, no fucking way, and like have to get all out?
No, because by the time I'm taking a position, I know pretty much everything about it. Unless like I stumble on like doing Enron, but like I ain't that smart, so do what you will with that.
Yeah. Okay, so around 13 hours at the desk, 20 minutes of trading, and 12 and a half hours of research. Do you ever find yourself like chilling, like where I would be on Twitter looking at sports, you would be looking at like SEC filings on your phone?
No, I hate looking at my phone, but what I would be doing is I'd probably be calculating how much money I need to be a billionaire, like updated in real time. I like to do that. And then I'd probably be looking into like things that come up on my scanners. I'm just looking at like charts and stuff on my phone. Like if I'm chilling on the couch, I'm looking at like charts on my phone. And like if I just don't feel like being at the desk, I'm looking at charts on my phone and I'm reading emails.
Charts on my phone.
Yeah, I really do look at. I look at like a billion charts. I have like a watch list of like
none
2,000.
of these are even questions by people. They're all these are just conversational questions I had.
Jesus.
Sorry. Okay, we'll get back to the questions for the people. Okay, Dan, how did you keep up with 40 tickers at a time? Well, the market was just so good. Everything was just up all the time. Like and there were just catalysts left and right. I mean, I was just getting, I didn't know what the catalysts were. I was an idiot, but they're just PR and everywhere. And dude, even if there was an offering, like the offering would drop at like 15-20%, but the PRs would make it go up like 80%. And that was my 80-20. And, yeah. And it just worked every fucking day until the market just was shit. And there was actually one day, I went to Burger King and I checked my TD Ameritrade. Every single thing was red on the day, all 40 tickers. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah, dude, it was insane. Never had them all green at one time, but yeah, definitely had one all red. So there were pros and cons, but the pros were pretty damn good at the time. So it was also a lot of fun and hectic. And I love chaos.
That's
there
good.
any
Me
method...
too. Psych.
Yeah, dude, you seem like you love chaos.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
really.
I
You're
hate
very-
structure.
You're like an... Yeah, shut the fuck up. You're like an algorithm. Is there any method for scaling entry and exits? Yeah, I mean, like, dude, there's a time I was so anal about pennies, like every 0.5%, or every percent. So if it was a 33% stock, I had to sell at every third of a penny, like 5% of my position. And once it went up, like, I don't want to do that math right now, but like 20%,
10%?
like I was all out. Yeah. And it
What
was
a
just
bitch.
like free money. I had buys and sells. I had like 200 limit buys and limit sells set every day.
What's
was
it like to not have any balls?
not have any balls. I was making fucking free money, dude. I didn't know anything about the stocks. I'm not gonna hold this shit forever.
I'm just kidding. That's good.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
You would
not
never
joking.
be able to keep up with 40 tickets at a time because you'd
No,
have
I'm
to
too
study
anal.
each of them for like a week and a half each. You'd be able to enter them in like 2022.
Well, you know what someone said in some of my DMs yesterday? They were like, "I don't understand how you make so much money. Like you
I don't fucking understand how you make so much money.
I'm flat.
I mean, I understand how you do it, but at the same time, I'm like, damn it, this fucking kid.
I'm like 3 years younger than you.
Yeah, but mentally, you're a young child. You're a baby.
I'm like a
compared
fucking
to this.
60-year-old.
You're a mental dwarf, and I am an intellectual giant.
Are you kidding me? You have the intellect of my left nut.
It must be fucking smart. Next question. Is there... Oh, wait. Just ask that one. How do you scale... How do you scale in and out of stocks in a trend while waiting for the catalyst to like EVFM, $3 to $3.20?
I don't. I'm bankrupt, baby. Fuck out of here.
I just scale in and out as it goes up or down. But sometimes, I've actually noticed in phase 3, things that are looking for some data, I've noticed if there's like an obnoxiously big sell that I hate when people say someone knows something, but shit, maybe someone does know something. And I do start to scale back. I noticed that in OTLK and ONTX before the big drops. And I thought that was a little insane. So, I got my eye out for some of these things now.
Oh, Dano's gotcha.
Look, dude, these companies aren't pulling a quick one on me, bro. Fucking big diesel LLCs coming your way. So my personal favorite segment of every podcast, Hugh's DD. I've got a list of 3 for you: DVAX, CEMI, and RMED. Well, they're all ones I've got a lot of, and I'm just playing. Just do DVAX.
Hey, dude, I was like, I'm not even holding 3. So last time that I said this, like I couldn't even get my shares.
This is DVAX, which is Dork, Valentina.
Be careful with that word.
Architect, and xylophone. Okay, so give me that DVAX.
So important inquiry here. Johnny Manziel helped me with this DD.
Oh, not the real one. I was gonna say, damn it, dude. Now I've got it, and now I have no reason to be in it. Damn, Johnny Manziel is doing your DD for you.
He's my bitch.
He's coked up in the bathroom, like, yeah, no, dude, it's fucking. They got some biotech shit coming.
What do you got? Okay, ready? So him and I have been collabing on DVAX. I really like DVAX for literally just this one sentence: preliminary safety and oh boy, here we go. Immunogenicity results from phase 1 COVID-19 studies with Clover Biopharma and Medicago, whatever the fuck. Most important part, expected by September and October, respectively.
Dude, you couldn't even read that sentence. Why do you love that sentence so much?
Because it says October and September.
Okay, fair enough. You give me a date soon, I'll probably like it too. It was just funny trying to hear you like there were 2 words in there that really had you.
Oh my god, dude!
In the first half.
Dude, I didn't realize what time. Dude, today flew by. Sorry. The other. Wow, today really freaking flew.
Hey guys, we're recording at 4:23 Eastern time on Saturday because Vinny's busy.
Yeah, where the hell did the last like 12 hours go? Anyway, the other
People
reason.
are like, where the fuck is this DD at?
Dude, we don't care. All right. The other. Wow, Jesus, that's nuts. I thought it was like 11 a.m. And then the other reason I like it is because they did a huge offering in Q2, and they got a few grants. So I feel like they have cash. Now, if I look at DVAX at 7 a.m. and it's up 20%, I'm gonna freak my shits. So don't buy anything until I can get all my shares, you motherfuckers. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, so
I'll put more DD out once I take my nap. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. Okay. So basically the catalyst is coming in October, September, and that's why he's swinging it, and it involves COVID. All pretty hot topics, and can definitely lead to some uptrend, and just adding on the dips as they come. It did have a little worse week, so this is it's a good thing we forgot to put it out last week because it dipped, and now we look better. Yeah. And after this, we have one more segment, which is rapid fire, our question segment where we go quick. This is actually so I can ask Hugh extra questions without him fucking talking too long. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
The most annoying question you guys get asked. Can I get an Atlas or, which is, we post the fucking invite all the time. Or if they just send you one stock to take a look at.
The most annoying question. I think it's, I don't know. There's a few that kind of irk me. Like, hey man, I've been doing this for 3 months, and I'm only up 100% of my portfolio. What am I doing wrong? Like, what? Hey man, how do I become a millionaire? Dude, I don't know. What do you want me to freaking say?
We're fucking super famous podcasters. I mean, it's obvious. Like, you don't go up asking Fergie how she's a millionaire, you know. Okay.
Yeah, wait, no, I'm not done. Hey man, can you check out DVAMTK?
Yeah, when they just asked you one chart, yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like, oh, you know what? Let's talk about this. If you're gonna send me a ticker, because right now I have 3,000. I counted 3,000 like 700 something DMs. I counted last night. Okay, if
What
you
the
want,
fuck?
yeah, it's absurd. If you want me to look at a
No,
ticker,
it's absurd the fact that you counted.
oh, because I was bored. Remember when I texted you like 3:30?
Yeah, you weird ass.
I won't even talk about that.
Yeah, you just get a lot. So here, dude, hey, motherfucker, this is rapid fire, not Hugh rants. It's like the whole thing I designed it for. Now you're reading 3,700 DMs. Next question is sexiest chart pattern.
The naked woman.
Yeah, I like. I'm gonna just the ABCD pattern. How many days off do you take?
You first.
I don't know. Like I don't really take days off. Like I'm always trading. Like if I'm gonna be on a plane in like 3 weeks and shame me for it. I got Wi-Fi so I can trade on the plane.
I can't believe you got Wi-Fi. You're such a little bitch. You know
So
the
you
markup of Wi-Fi.
I know you took off 3 days this week to move, correct?
Yeah, I did.
So you can't say you don't take any days off. So how many days off do you take?
During August or outside, like September, how many days will I take off? Ask me.
Yeah. Okay. How many days do we take off in September?
0.
What about October?
0.
Okay. What about August?
Dude, Jessica Alba could be sitting on my floor, not very clothed, and I would still be grinding. But August, I take off. Because you know why? I know what I'm doing.
The whole month or just most?
Most of the month. I
What
take
if
like
what
3 or
if
4
what if
trips.
large caps? What if like Tesla wasn't balling the whole month? Would you have been off?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
No, I don't care about money.
How do you fit in other things? How do you fit in other things while trading?
I don't know what that
dude,
is.
Well, also, I don't know. I think you're thinking too much into it. Like what?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Hugh doesn't have a fucking life, but he's also a millionaire at 21. So I mean, it's one of those things.
Dude.
I'm not a millionaire and I'm 25. I also have a little fun.
Dude, people love me. Dude, I have a life. Jerk.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. You're right. You have fun, dude. If looking at SEC filings is fun. Should I go 80% cash 3 weeks before the election? I love how this one's just very straight.
No, 79%.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, it just like we talked about a few weeks ago that historically Democratic, whenever they're elected, it's a little worse for the market. Hugh said it, not me, not a political podcast, by the way. So, I mean, yeah, if it sees like that is the trend, maybe pull out. I don't know. I mean, if this is your first election, it's always good to watch. Sit back and watch. I mean, there's always going to be another one in 4 years.
True.
What would you say, Hugh?
Yeah, I mean, we really got to see what happens. I do think that the market's way overextended right now, but that doesn't mean that the market can't keep flying for another 2-3 years. Okay, traders are reactive. Okay, we react to what happens in the market. Okay, so I can't say March 2nd, 2021, the market's going to go down 3.4%. I can't say that.
Why?
I mean, I guess I could say
You lost your touch.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I think it's really important to understand is that like I don't know, and I don't hate analysts, but anyone that says, "Oh, the market's gonna crash this year," okay, it may, or it could keep flying. Okay, I'm not making.
Yeah,
that bet.
I mean, the thing is like like you just said, the market is so overextended. Well, I mean, I was gonna say, yeah, and it's just looking for something to drop it. But then I thought to myself, well, the whole COVID thing should have did it. But Well, here we are.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what it should. And instead, we went to all-time highs. So I don't ever. You'll never hear me try and predict the market. I'll say my thoughts. For instance, the market is overvalued. But the same reason I took Tesla calls. Should Tesla be worth double Toyota? Hell no. But can I make money from it? Hell yeah. So is that what I'm going to do? Hell yeah. Is the market overvalued? Hell yeah. Am I still going to play it if it's going to keep going up? Hell yeah. But the second that the sentiment, I'll kill you. But the second that the sentiment changes, I'll be there to catch the downfall. And I think that's really important.
In all honesty, I mean, Tesla, in my opinion, probably should be valued at twice of Toyota, especially
That's because you know absolutely
future.
nothing.
Well, you think Toyota in 50 years from now, it's going to be Toyota or Tesla?
Dude, balance sheet wise, Toyota destroys any car company.
Okay, whatever, dude. Long story short, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
You know what? My bad.
And hey, Elon, if you want to sponsor the podcast, you now only have to get us one Tesla.
What? Man, I don't even want a Tesla.
No, you can get a fucking Toyota, dude. Okay, so last one, I think we might have already answered it. How often do you average down? Do you have set limits to where you will? No, because if I'm setting a limit to average down, that means I would be expecting it to go down. I only expect it to go up.
That's like saying like
bringing an umbrella when it's not gonna rain.
Yeah, that's like saying like, hey, do you save draft DMs when you're dating someone? It's like you're expecting them to cheat on you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna add something that's like, because last time I did this, which I think was in, let me see, I want to say March or April, and it was with LUB, and they closed all their fucking stores in Texas, and it dropped like 60%, and my ass added all the way down without even knowing. It halted down, and everyone that sold was selling to me. And it was awful, and I'm never doing it again.
Yeah, I set alerts. I don't believe in, because if say an offering comes out, I want to be selling my position. I don't want to be freaking buying. Alerts. Oh my god, it's bringing back PTSD. Flashbacks. Okay, so to kind of finally wrap things up, Hugh, you are in a new place now. I am coming to visit a little late in September. We'll see.
With some other food. And I am coming to visit later this month with some other Furus.
We'll see.
And we're going to have a super big party. And I'm bringing all my stuff, all my clothes, all my belongings. And yeah, dude, I can't wait, man.
You're
we're
not
gonna
staying.
Be the best route. I know, but like, should I? The thing is, I'm thinking about my cat. Do I bring this on the airplane? Can I bring her on the airplane, or should
you get 2 days and 1 night at my place, and that's it? You're not staying. Do not even.
So do I need to buy a fucking plane ride back?
Do not even think for a second that you're gonna extend this stay past the weekend.
Okay, well, I guess I'll cancel our Valentine's Day reservations that I had for February. Well, how do you like your new place? I guess I won't get to explore too much of it since I'm only allowed like 36 fucking hours.
Dude, if I survive 36 hours with you without alcohol poisoning,
then you'll allow me 3 more years?
Absolutely. Get the fuck
Get me out of Alabama. You get me the fuck out of here.
Dude, you get the weekend at my place. Should we say who the other Furu coming is?
What? Do you want to give it up? I mean,
should we wait?
I think we should just let him know.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Mr. Zach Morris.
Whoa!
Nah, I'm just playing. It's Gary Trades, Notorious Alerts, owner of the hottest YouTube stock channel, and yeah, we're gonna bang it out, no homo, like bros.
It's gonna be a fun weekend, but that's it. It's all it is a weekend. That you get 1 day, you get 2 days, 1 night. That's what you get. This isn't.
Oh man!
Do not even bring 3 pairs of socks because you're not staying that long.
3 pairs of socks will last me a month and a half, dude. You're
That
good.
is, oh my, I'll freak. I like my place clean. I will fucking kill you.
Dude, I'll bring my dude. I have the Roomba packed. Like that's. It's like I'm bringing a maid.
I already regret this decision.
All right, well, I'm excited to see you. Oh, dude, our very first live podcast, and we can interview Gary. So smart. Okay, well, that's that. How you liking it?
Dude, I love it. I love it. There's so many beautiful.
What's your favorite perk of living alone until your roommates move in?
I get to walk around naked.
Nice, dude. Yeah,
Oh.
whenever I move in, if you want to keep doing it, that's fine.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I gotta
Spit my
go.
water everywhere.
I gotta go.
I just spit my water everywhere.
I gotta go. What do you call it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to like sneak in the back door. My doorman's gonna be like, "Who is this?" I'll be like, "Oh,
Oh shit! This is you don't know him from Twitter? He's super famous. Okay,
man.
all right. Now it's just turning into one of our phone calls. Okay, we have to sign off now. Goodbye, listeners. We love you.